Another live episode of Real Estate Titans. I am your host, Greg Fowler, traveling throughout the marketplace, interviewing the top real estate professionals in our field, from realtors, lenders, builders, developers, residential or commercial, essentially gathering insight, what really inspires them, motivates them to the highest of highs, above and beyond everybody else in this market, what I like to consider a real estate titan. Our very special guest and featured titan today, Dave Kaercher. Dave, thanks so much for being on the show.
No, you're welcome, Greg.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to go through kind of the usual suspects as far as the questions, just letting everybody out there know who you are, what makes you tick, what brings you to where you're at right now as a titan. So I guess let's just jump right in.
Okay.
I guess tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay. Let's see. I moved to Colorado Springs in 1989.
Okay.
A military family.
Cool.
Dad was Navy. Went to high school here. Grew up here. College here.
Okay.
In Colorado.
Awesome.
Let's see. Got into mortgage in 2002. Went into real estate in 2003, and then been doing this ever since.
Okay, so and that's a great intro coming into everybody. So being a native and being from here, it's rare. I mean, I'm traveling all over. You just don't see a lot of local people.
It's really helped.
Okay.
It's really helped me. Yeah, knowing a lot of people here, knowing the players and everyone in the market. Yeah, it's been good.
Okay, so can you share a little bit more about your history as far as getting into the business? Because you kind of went bam, 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 but just for everybody out there, kind of what got you in and that sort of thing, influences.
Okay. Sure. Well, I own the RE/MAX franchise with my partner Brian Vale.
Okay.
We grew up, really close, best friends through high school, and his mom was a RE/MAX agent, and it's really cool to see her in our company now, working for us.
Okay.
I mean, she's getting closer to retirement now, but it's pretty neat to see that. We always saw her growing up, like. We'd be in the basement playing pool, drinking beers at, maybe 17, 18, which, whatever. And we'd walk upstairs and she'd be doing her postcards and her mailings and she'd be up all night doing it. And we're like, what are you doing? And advertising lots or whatever she was advertising. And
wow.
And Brian always told me that's what he was going to do after college. And I was just like, and I didn't really have any idea. I went to school for a business degree.
Okay.
Was not sure what I was going to do. I mean, honestly, I think I kind of went more for the partying, but I got the degree.
A lot of people, I think, are in that standpoint. So.
All my friends from high school were going there. I mean, so I went to UNC. Brian went to CSU.
Okay.
We stayed in touch, but then we got out, and I don't know. I went to Wells Fargo, and so did him at the time, and then we saved up some cash. We actually bought our first house together at 22, and then we rented it out with some friends. So we started getting into real estate, and we loved it. We were rented to 3 buddies, and they paid our mortgage, and we're like, wow, this is really cool. So me and Brian owned it. And we had 3 other people living with us, and
unreal.
So anyway, his mom sold us the house, and then at age, I got into real estate 03. I guess I was probably around 23.
All right, so younger for the masses, because isn't national average in kind of mid-50s or late 50s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that was
pretty
ahead of your time.
It was really hard. It was really hard. I felt like, because I was still in that kind of like college mindset, I really needed to adapt to, you are the CEO now of your business.
Sure.
Like Buffini talks about CEO, CFO, and CEO of your business. You've got to wear all 3 of those hats. And it's like, I was kind of, I didn't really get that. And I didn't sell much my first year.
Interesting.
And then I thought about getting out my second year in 05, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna try this out. And then market started getting a little weird, but no, we made it through. But
wow, and that's a path that's kind of laid out. I mean, if you would have given up, that first year, second year, who knows where you'd been? I mean, you've had a long career. This far, Dave.
I mean, I only sold like 7 houses my first year. And I'm like, what is this? This is really hard. That's poverty level, I feel like, in this town. I mean, after you pay your splits to your broker or whatever, and then I'm sure we can get to that later. That's hence why I wanted to open my own brokerage and offer a more affordable deal to agents that want to get into this industry. Because it was really hard for me getting in as a 23-year-old. And the other RE/MAX, I mean, $1,400 a month. I'm 23 out of college.
Wow.
And if you're not selling, I mean, that's a tough bill to swallow.
Yeah.
So anyway, it taught me a lot, and then I knew I had to get serious or get out.
Okay.
So I definitely got serious, Greg, and I started getting out there and meeting people and door knocking and writing letters or whatever it took to to get things done.
Okay.
I guess I didn't want to give up.
Hmm.
And my friends were like, no, you got this. And I'm like, okay, I got this.
Okay.
I really didn't know what I was doing, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you jumped in and, you know, you were motivated and you had that expectation on yourself that, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it 100%. Having friends that helped or backed you up, I think support systems are huge. I mean, no one does it alone, so I think that that's a really, really good touch into your career. And hey, man, look where you are right now. So
yeah, it's really been cool.
It's pretty
so
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about Brian, my friend Brian Bell there. His mom was helping me out with things she didn't want to do, sending me out to Yoder or very far out east, in our area, right, sure. Greg? I mean, an hour away to show some trailers and learning about that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I worked my way through the trenches, man. I definitely didn't get handed anything. Right. It's been a tough road. Only we can go into that.
For sure.
If you'd like to.
Yeah, I think that going into challenges, things like that, I definitely want to ask you that question. But when it comes to, I think this is a nice segue into what's your motivation, what's your why. I mean, what has really driven you this long in your career to get to the level that you're at, Dave? Because you're way above and beyond.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Sure.
Honestly, Greg, my why has really changed a lot over the years. I feel like it almost changes, I don't know, quite often. But
wow.
my current why is to glorify God in all things I do.
Sure.
And I don't think that was my why a while ago. It was to definitely accumulate stuff and bigger, better, more toys, better cars, better houses, whatever it might be.
Sure.
But now looking back, I really want to focus more on God and family because I've seen over the years I've worked so much and so hard that was all my focus, and I don't think that was healthy.
Sure.
But when we're all in, that work, career being my idol, which it was. I mean, I love Remax. I love the brand. It's so powerful, especially in Colorado. We're number one here. And
sure.
So it's to glorify God. Okay. I want to do things that I guess He would be happy,
right.
and proud of me, and so it's to help others. I recently was interviewed by the Colorado Business Journal, and that's exactly what we talked about. And that was the title. Helping agents succeed.
Wow.
And I don't mind sharing anything with you, obviously, because that's our walk in life. That's our testimony. So we can get into some of that stuff too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's to have a better marriage. Have a better relationship with my son. And I've been doing very well the last couple of years.
Sure.
But it's when my kid was first born, working so much, working all these hours, trying to create this empire, and that was my why to create the empire. But now I see there's a bigger picture out there too. I mean, having that healthy balance, I guess to say that work life play balance.
Sure.
I didn't have that before. It was very heavily work. Now I definitely do.
Okay. And that was years of you just kind of going through and understanding your why and really what your intentions were and then molding that and changing it. It's never going to stay the same, I don't think. And we're always trying to have balance. It's the hardest thing to do in this life as far as I'm concerned. And you might agree with me or disagree. But
I think I'm the closest I've ever been to balance, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't sell as much real estate as I used to.
Sure.
I'm more mentoring, helping agents now, one-on-ones.
Right.
Like this morning, even last night, I had some one-on-one with some agents and another one this morning. And just, helping, coaching, because I mean, I've been top, I've been there, and I brought my team to the top. My team's still top in the city,
sure.
State, but I really like helping others, man. I really like seeing, like, all my buyers agents that first started out with me back in the day all have these really successful teams here. And it's really cool to see.
Wow.
It really makes me smile. Like talking to my friend Kevin Basinger this morning and just seeing when he worked for me 5 years ago and now he's just running this killer team. He's like a top team in the city and it's just so cool to see, like, hey, I helped my boy to achieve financial freedom, right? Sure. I mean, so when you can look back and go, man, that guy came out of the Air Force making 50, 60 and now the guy, up 300, 400, 500,000, it's
huge.
Like revolutionary his life, and I love seeing that in this company.
Right.
I mean, so it's okay if I only sold one house this year, and my team's doing well. Don't get me wrong, but
sure.
If I can see everyone in this company succeeding and doing good, it's awesome to see. It's so cool.
I think that's beautiful, and again, that's in the progression of you as a man, you as a businessman, in your life and your career. You're in a different spot. You know, you look back at the beginning of your career to right now, I mean, your mindset's different.
Right.
Your thought process is different, your business prowess is different. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think you're in that state of mind that a lot of the Titans are on the show, that they want to give. And it is about sharing the knowledge and sharing and making other people just as successful, if not more successful than you are.
Definitely. I love it. Oh yeah, people are passing me up, and I love it. And that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't need the I got the T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to always wear it anymore, right?
That's it. You got the gold medal. It's
yeah,
you're there.
Yeah, man. It's really cool to see. I mean, like when agents are like, hey, would you go on this listing with me, or would you run a CMA for me? And I sit there with them and help them, and like, I'll go on the listing with you. You don't need to give me anything. People are like, what? You don't want like half my commission? My other broker wanted half my commission. I'm like, no, dude, let's go. Wow. Let's go do this, Greg. Let's go go after we get this $1 million listing. I mean, just give me a high five, after we get it, I love helping others achieve that.
Okay.
Bring me in, and, I've been, League 25 in the city and doing all this, looking at the fancy houses and hanging with the big boys, and, but it's cool to help these people. It's just really cool to see that. I am extremely blessed to have this brokerage. I mean, we're at 160 agents now.
Gosh,
and
that's insane.
When we purchased it 5 years ago, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into that, but walking in with 23 agents. This Remax was started in 93, but anyway, it's so cool to see the culture and the words getting out. Like, me and Brian truly are different, Greg. Like, we truly care.
Absolutely.
And I think it's different from brokerage, and I think that's why people are not leaving us, because they're like, we can approach you, we can call you, we can text you.
More than just not leaving, there's somebody coming in.
Yeah.
It's
Retention
is one thing,
yeah.
But the whole portion of people just continually coming in, and you seeing that projection of growth, that speaks for itself. You don't even have to say it. I mean,
thank you.
Numbers. So, I know that everybody out there will agree, with the things that we're saying here. So, I think this is a beautiful segue into the next question, because you're all about helping your people grow. You're all about sharing knowledge and information. So, if you could look back on your career thus far, Dave, and you could pinpoint one or two things that you maybe adjusted that took your business from one level to the highest level, or on that pathway, what does that look like for you?
Leveraging myself, Greg. So leveraging myself,
Interesting.
You can't do it all. I mean, hustling. You'll get burned out, right?
Okay.
I guess you could. I mean, I know there's agents that do 3-4 buyers, in a weekend. That's great. And I used to do. I was there, did that, and it really burned me out. I, failed relationships, and all this stuff going on because I was so into my work, 7 days a week, nonstop, go.
Sure.
There was no day of rest, and then I hired Brian Vail to be my first buyer's agent. He was working for his mom at the time.
Okay.
So remember, she was a Remax agent. He was working for his mom, and I said, "Dude, come over with me."
Cool.
This new program called Zillow just came out. I think it was introduced out in 06 or something. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna put a couple $1,000s into the zip code." Agents were making fun of Zillow. They're like, "What's this estimate? It's a joke." Oh yeah, agents around the office were dogging on it. The whole city was dogging on it.
I'm sure there's a lot out there watching this right now, kicking themselves.
Oh yeah, man. Whenever Zillow came out, I was like, I got to get on this. This is the new wave, right? This is the new wave. I mean, give agents access to the MLS. That was a new thing. That was unheard of.
Wow.
Right? You had to call an agent to get the MLS. Well, now you can get the MLS anywhere you find it, right?
Sure.
An app on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I was like, man, people are calling me on this Zillow program, Brian. So why don't you come work for me? And stolen from his mom and so he started working for me, and then we just took off and started hiring more people, more assistants. We got like 2-3 assistants, and we were just cranking. It was, but leverage though. But leverage, it was a total game changer. Yeah, because you can only make so much by yourself.
Okay.
So you need the first suggestion we always just hear in the brokerage is an assistant first to help you, right? Okay. And maybe even a second assistant if you're really that busy. I think if you're doing 40 deals, you might need to get an assistant, right? Okay. And then once you get to 60, 70, you probably need a second even. So. Leverage, man. Yeah, I had a listing coordinator, a buyer agent coordinator, and then it was like when we were doing a pretty even of that. But,
okay.
Yeah, leverage yourself, multiple team members. I think about 6. I have 6 team members now. It's usually what I carry.
Okay.
6 members. I mean, that helps me. If I feel like taking a weekend off, I can say, guys, any sign calls, I'm forwarding the sign call number to you. Those kinds of things. Where, it's. You get all the online leads this weekend. You get all the phone calls. Go have fun. Go sell.
And I love that instance because the leverage piece, first and foremost, I think that there's so many professionals out there, especially on the highest levels, that they have a hard time letting go.
Definitely.
They want, no one's going to do it like me. No one's going to do it as good as I can. Yeah. But I think that you're surrounding yourselves with the right people. Right. putting the pieces of the puzzle together that fit right and that have your back, that can really hold to that standard, that equates to your balance. So going back to what you were saying before, without leveraging other people's time and diversifying what's going on, how are you ever going to have balance? So I think that that's a good testament to what you've done with your career and where you're at now with the balance as opposed to where you were back then.
Yes.
Right? So I think that's huge note for everybody to take out there for sure.
Yeah, working with like-minded people. I mean, and when I'm hiring them now, the disc test.
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with the disc test.
Yeah, for sure.
Tony Robbins offers it for free on his website.
I didn't know that.
It's really good and it's pretty thorough.
Okay.
And you really go through that test, man. It's like, wow, that is me to a T. And you read about yourself, and then if you want to change some things, you can truly work on it.
Okay.
Like, if it's like, okay, I don't listen well. I can tell I don't listen well on these results, and maybe I need to get better at listening and just shutting my mouth, right? And listening to what this broker's concerns are, right?
Sure. So
not doing all the talking, right? And because a lot of people that are driven, I'm a high D.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you are too, Greg.
Yeah.
So
how'd you know, Dave?
Right.
Come on, man.
So high D's have those struggles. It's like, we want you to get to the point. We want you to, okay, you're gonna buy this house. We're gonna go on to the next one, right?
Right.
And high D's are different, but if you're gonna work with them, what do you want in your team? And buyers, buyer and sellers agents, and whatever.
Sure.
We have all kinds of different people in this market. Investors and all that.
Which I think is great, and that's huge advice for a lot of people to take away. I know that everybody out there appreciates
the disc test. Seriously, it's a good one.
And
even
you said on Tony Robbins' website.
It's free. Okay. Well, it was like I hired a new office manager here, and we were growing so fast for her. So we had to buy more space, right? This building's 20,000 square feet.
Okay.
And so we
beautiful building, by the way. Love the location.
Thank you, Greg.
Super
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
So we had to buy another 10,000 square. We bought the upstairs, or acquired the upstairs.
Okay.
And I remember, and it was so chaotic, and she was calling me like, Dave, I'm so stressed out. And she's like crying, and I'm like, what's wrong, Jennifer? What's wrong? And I was like, and she didn't like chaos, and she really needed structure, and it wasn't. We were just like, we were flying. I was like, Jim, we're at another agent tomorrow, and it was like we were just growing, right? New location, new hotspot, new Remax up here in the North End.
Right.
And it was, but I made it to the disc test, and I go, wow, that's why you can, and it clearly said she doesn't do well, not having structure, not having organization, and it really told me, okay, I got to help you. What can I? Because I'm not the most organized. I'm not the most. And usually high D's are not.
Sure.
We can we're just kind of go, and if it's working, right?
Yeah.
And
workhorses.
Yeah.
Really
and she did. She's like, I don't really work like that. And I bet her disc was like, but she's caring, loving, nurturing, a great mother. Like that kind of figure. But
sure.
Disc test is huge, man. I really think it's good for everyone to take that.
Okay. Cool, man. No, that's huge advice, and for sure, and I know that a lot of people are going to appreciate that too. So let's go into something a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So for everybody out there who wants to get to know this guy a little bit more, it's the challenges, man. At the end of the day, when things are smooth and easy, everybody goes through no problems. But when it comes down to challenges or speed bumps in our lives, that's what either makes or breaks us, as far as I'm concerned. So when you look back on your life thus far, can you pinpoint a challenge that you've dealt with in your life that you overcame that made you a stronger man?
Yeah. So, hitting that early success, getting to that 6-figure income, getting to that 250 level, and then seeing the market crash and it just go away.
Okay.
That income just go away, and you're like, wow, I had the big house and the fancy car, and I always say, I got so caught up in it that God took it away from me.
Wow.
Okay.
All
and
right.
I've said that for years, and
Sure.
and it was like, I did lose everything, man, and it was really hard. It was like I even lost my fiance in the mix. It was like, she was working in the new build industry, and it was like everything was just crashing. And I think both of us got caught up in the stuff.
Okay.
Idolizing the nice house. It was like, in our 20s, and
it.
hitting the success early on, getting to that level. You're 25. You're having huge success, and you're like, I felt like I was unstoppable. I felt like nothing was going to get in my way.
Right.
And I could do anything I put my mind to, right? And I know I can.
Sure.
But then just to have it all taken away when the market crashed, it was like, damn. And so me personally having to, short sell my house. I think I sold that thing for $300,000 less than what I bought it for. The bank thankfully forgave it all, though.
Okay.
That was really nice. They were nice to them.
Which is good. Thanks, banks.
Yeah, so Bank of America, they bailed me out, and stupid move, got an option arm loan. Thought that was a really cool thing to do back then,
sure.
option arm payments and stuff. But so I found myself, living with some buddies from high school, man.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was kind of crazy. I called up a friend that was going through divorce, and I'm like, man, I just lost everything. I'm gonna room together, get a rental. I had this beautiful house, and now I lost it, and so I didn't know really what to do.
Okay.
I was really struggling, because I lost, like I said, my fiance. I'm like all in this depressed mode, like I got to pick myself back up. And so eventually I got back on my feet. I'm like, I'm going to help others that are struggling.
Wow.
Other people that are going through this financial hardship that we're going through. And it was some hard conversations, going to their dining room table, like, this is our only house, and we don't know what to do. And my husband lost his job, I lost my job, whatever it might have been, Greg, death. It was just so bad, and people were losing their houses. It was so rapid. So what I literally do, it was so bad. I saved up my money to buy like a big printer I could print letters on, and like Matt. And then I started literally, dude, I was folding envelopes, stamping, handwriting addresses, signing the letters. And I started just mailing letters to people that were late in their mortgage, man, and like just struggling and facing a foreclosure. And people started calling me, and they knew I was real instantly when I walked in.
Sure.
Like, if they started crying, I'm crying with them. Right. It was a very emotional thing. Like, I lost my stuff too.
You lived it.
Yeah, I lived it and went through it. And so I just started marketing postcards, and it started taking off, Greg. It just took off. And got back on my feet, got the income back up to where, and even doubled, tripled the income, and because people were calling me, I started investing more and more in postcards. It was so cool. I had all different kinds of postcards lined up in my office, stacked to the ceiling. It was a really intense postcard, man. It was a little baby, had a little tear in her eye, and it said, "Mommy, Daddy, don't let us lose our house." Like, it was a close-up of this little kid crying. And because I went out and got my CDPE. That was very popular back then. Certified Distress Short Sale thing they were doing. I went and did designations. I said, I'm not going to let this thing defeat me. I think I have like 17 or 18 designations. And so I thought education is important. I got to learn this market. I got to master this market.
Absolutely.
And so getting your CRS and GRI and all these things that come with real estate. I really wanted to get after that. I eventually had enough money to buy a billboard, radio ads. I had like 50 bus benches. I was on buses. Wow. And it was, I came up with a campaign.
Okay.
And it was really cool. I didn't know, I was trying to find a phone number. It was just Ways Out. And it was just,
beautiful.
I had this phone number and it had Ways Out in it. Or no, it was Ways. It was like 445 Ways.
Okay.
And it was on bus benches. And I was trying to create this message in town here that there's a way out of this financial crisis you're going through.
Sure.
And so I ended up selling hundreds of families. A couple, I think I might have sold about 250 short sales during that 3-year process.
Wow.
Greg, I couldn't keep up. Literally, I just kept the listing packets in my car, like multiple listing packets. And literally, I would print off 10 every week, go on interviews, and just try and get, and I'd carry signs in my car and be like, I'm getting this listing. I'm going to help this family.
Wow.
But it was easy, though, because the bank would pay my commission, too, though.
Okay.
That kind of helps, right? When the bank's going to pay your commission.
You got to feed yourself. You got to feed your family as you're working.
Right.
To help other people.
Right.
I think that what's really something that I take away from that share, and thanks for sharing that, by the way. It's not easy to share difficult things or anything like that, airing your stuff out on live feed here. But
I don't care.
I think that you took that struggle that you dealt with, and instead of letting it defeat you, you spun it around and you gave back.
Yeah.
You wanted to help others deal with the struggle that you're dealt with and they're dealing with.
Right.
And that's beautiful. That's a testament to your character, your integrity, and again, why you're where you're at now is because of that. That's huge. You didn't let it stop you. You just kept going. You kept moving, and you spun such a horrible portion of someone's life into a really positive thing. So I don't know. I think that's awesome.
It was a crazy time, man. I was trying to get my act back together, and then I'd walk out in the garage, and all my friends are playing beer pong, and I'm like, guys, keep it down. I'm trying to get my work done. Like it was very interesting. Wow. I felt like I did have everything I thought I wanted. That's why I said my why's changed.
Sure.
I wanted a big house. I wanted a nice car. I wanted all these things and. And I was sacrificing. I don't know. Anyway, I had 10 houses by the time I think I was 26, 27.
Wow.
So I had multiple rentals and all that, and I ended up, losing all them, short selling them.
Wow.
foreclosed on a couple. And then eventually, yeah, I had debt collectors knocking on my door for some of the debt, and it got pretty bad. Yeah, man, I had a sheriff serve me with some paperwork. Fill this out. We're gonna come take all your stuff. Now that I was back on my feet,
Okay.
years later. Years later, they can come after you for 7 years.
Wow.
It's state, Colorado statute law. The 7 years and come after. So 4 years later, if I went through all that, making good money, they can still check your credit. Banks can't if you owe them money.
Wow.
So I'll never forget, man. Sheriff pulled up to the door. He served me this paperwork. So I kept ignoring their calls and all that. And I was like,
Sure.
man, this is getting intense. Literally, they wanted to know how much clothing I had. I was like, they're gonna take everything.
Wow.
So unfortunately, I had to file BK. I had filed bankruptcy. Yep. I went through all that, but it made me who I am, and it made me real. And so I can relate to, I think, a lot of scenarios on situations. And I mean, God has just blessed me abundantly, and it's been amazing what has transpired from that. And as we shifted, the market's definitely shifted. Obviously now we're
Sure.
But it's cool, man.
I mean, that's exciting. And it's, again, I think that challenges and what we face, I don't think there's anything thrown at us that we're not meant to overcome.
Right.
If you have the right mentality and mindset and attitude. And that stems back from the beginning of your career as far as I'm concerned, because your thoughts, hey, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to be the best of the best. Whatever drives us and motivates us, that fueled the fire, for you to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome, man. I really do.
I guess one thing, man, I guess I forgot. I used to love to drink and party, and then he was like, you know what? After all that started happening, I'm like, I don't need this. So I did quit drinking about 10 or 11 years ago.
Wow.
I used to love to party and have fun and be like, hey, I'm making all the money, I can party, who cares? Whatever, this is all good. And yeah, so that got that out of my life. That was getting in the way.
Okay.
That was getting in the way. So whatever habit people out there might have, that was getting in the way. I used to tell myself it wasn't. I used to always convince myself, well,
denial right off.
Right?
Like,
I only drink really heavy maybe on the weekends or when football's on, and just always had those excuses to back it up.
Sure.
But when I got serious about the business, man, I really got serious, and I literally I was up at night just, like I said, doing my first round of letters to people. I was trying to get out about 1,000, 1,000 a month, and I got to 1,000 a week, and then I eventually was able to hire someone to start stamping them for me.
Sure.
And it was really cool. I finally was able to get out of the rental and get my own place. Oh, my credit was completely trashed. My parents helped me out.
Sure.
My credit was completely trashed.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, no one's going to lend to someone that just had, lost 10 houses and a bankruptcy, right? Or was filing for one at the time,
sure,
right?
Sure.
So anyway, it was a long road, but I look back and I can see, what was going on.
Okay. Well, and I appreciate that, Dave, and thanks for the share, man. I mean, that's not easy to do going into that. But let's tail into a slightly softer question here for everybody out there to get to know you a little bit more. If you could go back in time and advise your younger self, any stage of life, a piece of advice or two, what would that be? What would you say to young Dave?
I mean, I think we kind of touched on it, but it is really important to have that balance.
Okay.
I think a lot of people can tell you that. It's a good book that says about that. Think or Grow Rich.
Oh yeah.
Napoleon
Hill.
Yeah.
Fantastic book.
It's really getting that mindset down right, man. And there is more to life, and always chasing that dollar, chasing that idol it might be, whatever it might be.
Sure.
Let's see. I mean, I really didn't get to spend much time with my son until I missed a lot of those early years.
Okay.
Right, because I was working. I was like, whatever.
Right.
I need, I was convincing myself I just had to work 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, whatever it might be.
Sure.
And I had to be the top and wanted to be number one, and I needed all that fame and glory, and I want to bring this team to a top, and and me and my 5 guys in 2007 are going to sell 200 houses this year. We were achieving all these things. It was really fun. I just wish I would have slowed down, I guess, and maybe smelled the roses, man, a little bit.
Okay.
And like today, now I really feel like I do that. I really feel like I recharge every so, take some days off. And,
okay.
Yeah.
But that's good advice.
Priorities, man. Yeah, making sure what's really important. I mean, don't get me wrong, money, career, and
sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to be taken away from that, and just the balance. I think that's a common theme in just this particular interview, is having that balance. I was actually hanging out with a buddy the other night. He's actually a featured Titan several episodes ago, so shout out to Gary. But he he explained to me this scenario about balance, and I thought it was really neat. So essentially, he drew a rectangle with 4 circles, and you're a car guy just like I am, so you'll get this.
Yeah.
So what happened? He said, okay, so drew it on the piece of paper, and then one was faith, health, family, and then finance. And so he said, give me a number from 0 to 10 on each one of those categories. So you rattle off the numbers, that sort of thing, and he says, imagine if this was a car driving down the road. How balanced and how smooth is that ride? So what's your faith, right? What's your health? What's your family? What's your finance? And constantly you should be shifting. If one's stacked, you got to take air out of one tire, put it in another to make it smoother. So I think that's good advice for everybody out there.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was great. I mean, it made perfect sense to me. I was like, oh, okay, I know cars, and so I just think that's a reoccurring theme that we're talking about here.
Right, and you can get out of whack. Yeah, some weeks are really heavy real estate, and then maybe you can get out of whack pretty quick, man. Then all of a sudden you're in that groove, and you're just like you just keep going and going and going, and man, just know when to hire someone else to help you, and like letting go, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said earlier, it was really hard for me to let go too. It was really hard to be like, okay, buyer's agent, and then we got 5, 6, 7 buyers, and it's like, okay, I'm okay to give all this away, and I give it all away now, and I'm good. And
it's a better balance. Your tires are filled out better. That's good.
I love having a team. I think you gotta. It really helps because then everyone's happy. We're all happy. They're doing. Yeah, I think a team really was life-changing. I guess I started a team about 10, 11 years ago. Yeah, okay. So I guess after the short sales went away and investors started coming out, and so yeah, it's...
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. I think that's a great message for everybody to take away. So let me ask you this about, we're talking about balance and kind of looking at it from a mindset standpoint. So what have you been, or what are you feeding your mind right now that really kind of, excites you, whether it's books you're reading, podcasts you're listening to, influencers on social media, public speakers, things like that? Any shares for everybody out there?
I'm reading a lot of religious books right now.
Okay.
That's just where I'm at right now in my stage in life.
Sure.
I just really want to focus on improving my family life, improving my marriage, just being more present, spending more quality time with my wife, and, because she's been so supportive over this last 5 years.
Wow.
I've known her for 5 years, and I purchased the Remax 5 years ago, and so we've gone through a lot of changes, so... Right. Honestly, my pastors have been really pushing me to read the Bible. I'm reading the Bible a lot, man. I'm reading a lot. I'm reading, actually my son and I, we just finished reading, John chapter 7 last night, and we were just trying to be a good steward and teach he's just turned 9. So I said, it's kind of time to, my pastor gave me a really good book that I've been reading. Actually more of a study that I picked a couple agents in the office to do with me,
nice.
Which is really cool. Actually, big shout out to Brian Vale doing it with me. I love it.
Brian,
I love how my business partner is doing with me. It's called How to Be a Better Disciple. Okay. Just being, but it's just being about good stories. It's good. I mean, when you really, I don't know how people read the Bible, but
sure, I'm sure there's plenty out there too.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's plenty watching them too.
But it was really challenging me when my pastor was asking me, even just, I don't know, a year ago, and it's like, do you really know the Bible? Can you tell me some stories? It's like, but how many people really know? You listen to, you hear the stories that Jesus went through, and it's just really, it really can relate to a lot of situations in people's life. I just think it's a good read, man. It's I try to mimic myself, obviously best I can. I'm nowhere close to perfect. Everyone's a sinner, kind of thing. But I try to really, what would Jesus do every day? And like I said, my why is to, like I said, it truly is to glorify God and to Him to be proud of me, and that's more what I live by. And another good book, Take the Stairs. I just got finished reading Roy Vader. That was a good book, Take the Stairs.
Very cool.
And the whole theme is, you have this choice, this elevator, or you can walk up 70 stairs. And I don't know if I've ever walked up 70 stairs. But,
that's a lot.
No, it is. And I did it. I recently, there was a building, and my son and I, he was like, let's take the stairs.
Wow.
And that's basically what this book says. You get these choices in life. That was a pretty good read, man.
For sure.
And I had the opportunity to go see him speak. It was pretty cool. But it's like, we have these decisions. And it's crazy, Greg, because he's got all these missions. In his book, he's talked about all these stairs he's walked. And I forget all the tallest buildings. Like I'm talking 200 stairs,
Empire
250
State
stairs.
Building,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
he's just trying to. It's very interesting when you seriously just walking stairs for that long. Anyway, but it's a good book. He relates it to stairs.
Yeah.
You know, he relates this book to stairs and how we have all these decisions and crossroads that go in life. And anyway, he's a good business coach.
I'll be thinking about that next time I do the incline, because
There you go.
when I think of steps or stairs, that's the
There
first
you
thing that
go,
pops into
right.
my head. But no, that's great, Dave. And so for everybody out there, just so you know, as always, I'm going to put the books that you were talking about and anything that's
Bible.
going on.
New
The
King
Bible,
James.
right in there in the description section below,
That's
so everybody
funny,
can take a
man.
look at that on those things. So that's great. So last but not least, Dave, and this has been fantastic. This has been chock full of great content. So again, thanks so much.
Okay.
But last question before we finish up here, if you could sum up your brand, you as a man, whoever you are, as a mantra or a quote that you live by, what is that for Dave Kaercher?
Sum up my brand.
Yeah.
Well, my brand, I guess, is Remax.
Okay, that's
okay.
cool.
So, I can talk about that. I love offering an agent a wonderful company, a great building, all the tools to succeed, Greg, at not an expensive price, man.
Wow.
You know, agents love being able to receive 95, 97, 99% commission on their deals. You know, and they love it because I'm not as expensive as everyone else,
Sure.
you know, and it's very affordable to achieve, and they have a great building, and the culture's amazing, and we're kind of a younger culture here,
Right.
but definitely have some, my shout out to my boy Bill Forsythe, you know,
Oh,
just
cool.
turned, I believe, 70.
Wow.
I believe he did. But anyway,
Wow.
it's a cool culture, cool vibe. I just want to, so that's really, we have really good classes. We have I feel like the best trainer in the state,
Okay.
in Linda Ritchie.
Oh, very
Man,
cool.
she's been doing this for 30 years. We got new intern program starting up on May 14th.
Awesome.
9-week course. It's great. You know, if any of your listeners are wanting to check that out,
For sure.
you know, it's a great program. Pretty much get them into it for free.
Wow.
They got to give us a little bit of kickback on the commission, but it's just a great program. We asked for a 1-year commitment, but I mean, you get out of that class, that 9-week course, and you're like, I got this. You know, you just feel confident because you're learning from some pros.
That's big.
And she's been a trainer, like I said, in the Remax system, training 20 plus years. Amazing addition. We just we got from a different Remax in town. So, man, things like that's like a slogan. Is that what we're asking for?
No. That what you said was good. I mean, but if you have something, if there's a quote you live by or a slogan that you have that as a personal for you or for your team or just for the brand in general, if not, what you said was good.
Okay. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Wow.
Okay, man. Seriously.
Okay. Okay.
We just, I don't know. It's where I'm at. You know, and I see that balance thing. I can see. I mean, I'm pretty strong in my faith right now. I just know. It's time to, you know, I've been really serious about career. I need to have that. I feel like I fill all those out pretty evenly.
Sure.
Your triangle there. Or,
Your tires. The tires.
Yeah, or is it a square? I feel like I can. I feel like I got it, man. I try to take time off. Quality time with the family is important. You know, that's what my wife needs, man. I got to give her that quality time, or she's angry at me.
That's it. It.
But yeah, you know, I'm opening a mortgage company right now. Remax has come out with this new mortgage company.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just gotta be careful on how much I focus on.
Sure.
You know, of course, Greg. I wanted to open the thing up in like 2 months. I mean, we're opening it next week, and it's like 4 months. You know, but you know, it's cool. You know, I'm a certified mortgage lender, but I'm not. I just wanted to learn it. I'm not going to do loans.
Sure.
But yeah, we have some really awesome lenders coming to take over, run with this new mortgage company we're starting.
Wow.
We are looking for a processor.
Okay.
Started a property management company this year too. That's been taken off, but it's got a lot of good things, man. It's just you can do anything you put your mind to, man. Like, and I'm not even kidding. I really am the guy that went from, I mean, nothing.
Sure.
And along the way, obviously, people said they know I have a kid along the way. Yeah, you know, during that depression thing.
Right.
I ended up having a kid, and I was just a mess. And balance was out of whack. It was all
Hey.
and it's been a ride, man. And I love just helping those agents out and trying to help them get that balance. And you know, what are your goals? And I love business planning with agents.
Sure.
Like I don't know, man. I'm just on fire to help agents succeed, and it's cool because I I think I'm a pretty good person to learn by. I feel like I've been to a lot of different markets, enough markets.
Absolutely.
We teach Brian Buffini here,
Okay.
and we have a certified mentor, and it's great. And just hearing what Buffini does, and that personal relationships, and he obviously he's all about referrals and the face to face, and we're getting away from that, Greg. We're getting away from that with technology. I mean, yeah, you can do deals now, and you don't even talk to the person. You're just texting an email the whole time, right?
Yep.
And so yeah, I think. I don't know, drop it by live by. Yeah, it's just like I want to help others succeed, man, and whatever that might be.
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally had agents talk to me just about their personal life for an hour, and that's what they want to talk about. And maybe it's not even about business, And it's we're all there to share, right, and to build each other, in fellowship with others. That's what It's really important in this company. I mean, whatever you need, man. You want to go out and have a beer and hug. I guess I don't drink, but but a lot of people do.
Soda.
Yeah. I don't drink, but it's whatever you need. I'm here, and Brian is too, man. I love the guy, my business partner. He's got such a great heart. Well, thank you. You need to have him on your Oh, he told me he backed out on you.
He needs to be a part of the show. He's on the docket.
Okay.
It'll happen.
He's a good dude. Yeah. He's very caring. We complement each other very well. Yeah, so anyway.
Cool, man.
I hope I answered all your...
No, this is perfect. I mean, thanks, Dave. I mean, seriously, for taking the time. I know you're a super busy dude, so the fact of the matter is that you just being on the show, very humble and blessed. I appreciate it. I do want to officially say you are a real estate titan, my friend. So
I'm
thanks so
honored,
much for being on the show. Yes,
I'm honored,
man.
Thank you. I'm a titan now.
Yes, you are, my friend.
I get a pin?
That's it. I got to get those. I got to do something like that.
Oh,
we'll get there. We'll get there. You're stepping the game up.
Okay.
But, hey, I just want to thank everybody else out there for tuning in. Thanks so much for your time and support. As always, every Tuesday and Friday afternoon around 3 o'clock time frame. So we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Thanks so much. Have an awesome weekend. Take care.